Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Welcome to Magic the Chat. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Magic the Chat. I'm your host Cal, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about why you shouldn't just play EDH. Now, I want to stress, I'm not saying you shouldn't play Commander. You should, it's great, it's real fun. But you should also try out other formats and give yourself the leg up. And we're going to talk about why playing Commander exclusively isn't the best for your game. So let's get right into it. The first thing I want to touch on is missing triggers. Commander is a social format and it'll often just be a lot of chatting and talking to your friends about what you have for lunch and stuff like that. But with that, there's a very real chance that you're going to miss a trigger. And a missed trigger could be the difference between winning and losing a game. And I know winning and losing the game isn't the be all and end all for people. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it should be. We're going to touch on that in a bit. But missed triggers can really add up, impact the outcome of a game and change it. And I think what's really important with Commander is it's a game. It is a game, and playing the game to the best of your abilities is important. Something as simple as missing a life gain trigger from an Essence Warden could be the difference between surviving and not surviving an attack. And that's the kind of thing, it's just a quality of life for you, the player. Because if you're not playing at your best, you may not have the best experience. On to the next point, and that is threat assessment. And I think 1v1 Magic really does teach you some critical threat assessment. Often something that you'd remove in 1v1 is also a threat in multiplayer. And I think that's something that really gets overlooked. And in 1v1, it also teaches a lot about strategies in Magic. For example, a card like Blood Artist. For entrenched Commander players and Magic players just in general, we all know that that is a typical aristocrat style deck. But for you, a new player, that might not tell you anything. But playing 1v1, you're going to know after a couple of games, you've played against Blood Artist, you know what it does. Not that Blood Artist sees any real play in 1v1, but you get what I'm getting at. You're going to know that that opponent is happy to let their creatures die and be sacrificed. And maybe you don't want to pop off that removal spell at a specific time. Maybe you want to take out that Blood Artist first. Even though it feels like a bit of a waste to use that Path to Exile, you know that Blood Artist might kill you in the long game. So it might just give you the leg up in your next Commander game. If you see cards that really did work in a specific strategy in your 1v1 games, it gives you a better idea of what your opponent might be playing in your next Commander game, and that gives you a leg up. Now, this isn't all just about winning, but we're going to get to that in a second. The first thing I want to talk about though is sequencing. And when I'm talking about sequencing, I'm talking about the sequence you play your cards. So, let's look at an example. It's turn 4, you've got 2 creatures in play, a Llanowar Elf and a Side Leopard. You've got 5 cards in hand, one of those cards is a land, the other is a creature with landfall. You want to ensure you play that landfall creature before you play your land for the turn, as this will give you the most value. Now, in a typical Commander game, that might not matter that much. It might not really impact your game if you play it the wrong way around and don't get that additional landfall trigger. But in 1v1, you can be punished for that, and it can really teach you not to make that mistake again. Not that making mistakes is a bad thing, it's an opportunity to learn, but it is something to talk about. And at an even more basic level, like talking about no triggers, no nothing. Simple things like what land do I play on turn 1 could be the difference between not playing something on turn 2 and playing something on turn 2. And this will be punished more in 1v1 than it will Commander, but that doesn't mean it doesn't matter in Commander. It might affect your game and the way you play, and it might affect the outcome of the game. Speaking of the outcome of the game, let's get on to the next point. Friendly competition. I don't know how many of you need to hear this, but it's okay to win games. There's a stigma in Commander about winning games. Players often preferring to do the fun thing rather than the good thing, and that's usually fine. But at a baseline, Magic is a game, and games are meant to be played to be won. I'm not saying play your Commander games to win them as fast as possible. What I'm saying is the game has to end at some point. Don't be afraid to make enemies at the table. It's a game you're trying to win, and your friends should understand that. And if they don't, send this clip to them so I can tell them, and I'll be the bad guy for you. But at the end of the day, if you win, it's just another chance to shuffle up and play another game. And isn't that what it's all about? We want to play Magic, we want to have fun. So, that's why I don't think you should just play Commander. Go play some Arena, play some Standard, play some Pioneer. Your games will thank you. What do you think? Am I being pedantic? Is it over the top? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed that video, please hit a like, subscribe, and if you've been inspired to play some Pioneer or Standard, maybe you need some new cards for that deck, and if you do, why not use my Magic Madhouse affiliate link down in the link below. It costs nothing and it helps out the channel immensely. And finally, and I mean this, finally, if you do want to follow any of my socials, they're down in the video description. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.